I don't want to go on a rant here. What the hell does rant mean?
Hello, all, and welcome to this, which is episode 11.
These go to 11.
Yes. I saw it was episode 11, and I rushed to find that sound clip. I don't know if you've seen Spinal Tap.
You've gotten a little, but it's really episode 12, though, because episode 0, the pilot.
That doesn't count. This is episode, the pilot is a pilot. It's episode 0 for a reason. This is episode 11, because 10 counted as 10. Now that I played the sound clip, this isn't 11, this is 12. No.
You know what? Speaking of pilots, Seinfeld was on yesterday.
I thought you were going to
Comedy
talk about
Central.
Sully Sullenberger.
Did you know? Nice. Did you know that the pilot episode of Seinfeld was in July, and then the second episode when it got picked up wasn't until the following May?
That seems like extra long, because I would
So
say
it was
like
just like a random, it was like July 5th, 1989, and then the second episode when it actually got picked up as a series wasn't until May of 1990.
Really? Because I know it came out in 89. I always just assumed season 1 was in 89, but it wasn't until 1990.
Yeah, that's why I always assumed like the following week I figured episode 2. No, the following May. How odd is that?
I still don't really get this. This was not on our list of stuff to talk about, so it's just fucking random. I don't get how pilots work. Like, are they ever on air, or do they just show to like a test audience? Because like there are some episodes that like they never got picked up, or like a series never, like they're unaired pilots. Like I always would love to. There was one with Adam West. He did a show with like Conan. I forget what it was called, but he was like a detective, and it was just like, I don't think it ever actually aired or whatever. So it's like all these things that like just nobody, very few people have seen, like this test episode for a show that never happened. Like that'd be so cool to see.
And then you have some of those shows that are picked up and then canceled after like 2 episodes, and then all the unaired episodes never air.
Or like character changes where you never saw the original characters because they got picked up, but they changed. Like, and didn't Seinfeld change George's dad or somebody to Jerry Stiller?
Jerry's dad got changed too.
Really?
Yeah, because in the first episode, it was a different actor than who ended up being the actor that portrayed
I
Jerry's
just
dad.
found out a new segment for next week. We're gonna find out like famous movies and TV shows that had like either characters replaced in this, like well into the show, or into like one episode. Like the most famous one has got to be like Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future. He wasn't the original guy.
Oh yeah,
you definitely have to know that, right?
And then they replaced his love interest because she was then too tall for Michael J. Fox, and they ended up getting Elizabeth Shue.
No, they had the first chick, and then they replaced her in the second movie because she was taking care of her sick mother or something like that. I looked that up a while ago, but they actually shot a lot of the movie with the other guy.
They also in Full House they changed the actor for Danny Tanner.
Yeah, it's all, so yeah, we just ruined some of the surprises for next week. But that's probably like the tip of the iceberg of how many times that's happened. So we'll research that shit. But it's been a week. And I haven't even thought of the unusual death, so I have no freaking clue what it was. It was a short one, right?
Yeah, it was 1977. Tina Christopherson, and we had that long debate of, is it pronounced Christopherson? Christopherson?
Yeah. It's got to be Christopherson, right?
Dumb idiot who drank like 4 gallons of water a day to cleanse her body of stomach cancer.
Yes.
So not a lot to come from this, but first of all, she didn't actually have stomach cancer. She thought she had stomach cancer and was trying to cleanse her body of what she thought was stomach cancer. She also supposedly had an IQ of 189. So she's like a Mensa level genius. I'm going to drink 4 gallons of water a day. But I did find out
what the fuck
was there are some very notable instances of water
poisoning.
Hydroxication. I forgot what it's fucking called.
Water poisoning.
You're drowning yourself, basically. Like, you've heard of Andy Warhol, right?
Yeah, of course.
So 5 years after his death, so he died in 1986 or 87, and then 5 years later, his family actually accused the hospital where he had his gallbladder removed of causing his death by water intoxication post-operatively, because they claimed that the autopsy weighed him after he had passed. He was 150 pounds. He was 128 pounds when he was admitted.
That's still
he
really
had that much fluid in his body. They ended up settling for an undisclosed amount.
So that means that they did something wrong.
Yep. In 2003, I found some British actor named Anthony Andrews survived a case of water intoxication.
As I'm drinking water.
He was performing in a revival of the musical My Fair Lady, and he was drinking up to 8 liters of water a day. He was in the ICU for 3 days. Dude was drinking 270 ounces of water a day.
Even if you're like working super hard, like you're ridiculously dehydrated, that still seems like too much.
I mean, I drink 150 ounces of water a day. But I do it, throughout the day. It's not like I'm drinking it in a 2-hour period.
I wonder how much I drink. Because I'll go through like, I don't know, 2 or 3 of these a day.
Let's go be what, like a 20-ounce bottle? 18, 20?
I think it's 18. 18
So you're drinking
16.
almost 75 ounces of water a day, give or take. Found another one. This one is a little ridiculous. 2007. Jennifer Strange died after drinking nearly 2 gallons of water in an attempt to win a Nintendo Wii.
I think I've heard this. Was it like a radio station contest?
Yep. The radio station's morning show, The Morning Rave, held an on-air contest entitled Hold Your Wii for a Wii.
Oh my God.
In which contestants were asked to drink as much water as they could without urinating. The DJs were made aware of the dangers, but did not inform the contestants. The parent company, Entercom Sacramento, was subsequently ordered to pay almost $17 million in damages to the woman's family.
How old was she?
It didn't say.
I remember that. What year was this?
2007.
So obviously when the Wii was, we were just talking about the Wii.
A very recent one, March 11th of 2020. This one's pretty terrible. Zachary Sabin, an 11-year-old child, died after being forced to drink almost 3 liters of water in 4 hours by his parents. They thought his urine was too dark, so they made him drink water until he threw up. And he died.
It doesn't take much to turn your pee. I remember when I was a kid, I used to think it was cooler that your pee was yellow because like I had no idea what that meant. So it was just like, my pee's yellower than yours. I'm cooler. It's better. And then it's like, no, you want your pee to be clear.
Yeah, it kind of makes you dehydrated then.
Yeah, it's when you wake up in the morning, you haven't drank for like 12 hours and it's just bright yellow. And you're like, I'm going to die.
Mine's sometimes red. That's
probably
a good sign.
Yeah, you're peeing blood still. All these years later.
A little bit.
So I was looking at our podcast reach. We have a new country. Do you want to take a guess where we are? So we hit United States, Australia, Canada, and the Philippines. Now there's less than 1%, but it shows up here.
Are we talking like Middle Eastern, or are we going to Europe?
I'm not giving you any clues. It's a big country.
Oh God, not Russia.
No.
Did we hit the German market?
Nope.
Ooh, what is it then?
Think tightly compacted people. Like a huge population. A lot.
China?
Close on that. Not close as in terms of where it is, but like that type of population.
Japan?
No, it's India.
Oh, you could have given me 15 more guesses. I probably would not have said India.
Karnataka, India is what it shows. And we also have our first non-binary listener. 5% is non-binary.
Let's go.
So, and our, I don't know if we've hit this. 48% is 23 to 27, 24% is 28 to 34, and then 29% is 35 to 44. So we're pretty good in the demo, but nothing for 18 to 22-year-olds. 0.
What the hell? We can't reach the teenage audience or the college age audience
or the Fox News moron audience, like the 45 plus, 60 plus, still 0. And then there's a category for 0 to 17. Could you imagine if we hit on an infant listening? Like, can you calculate for like a pregnant woman putting the headphones to her stomach and listening to this podcast? Does that count as like negative?
We're big in the kindergarten community.
Yeah. Could you imagine that? All right, kids, today we're going to listen to this, that rant. Oh, not a good
After our nap, you get to listen to The Unusual Death.
Oh God, that would be a great thing for kindergartners. So I have the box here. I have multiple ones, but I figured this was the coolest one. This is the Turkish munchies that you bought. So I forgot that I don't know if you told me it was a mystery thing or if you just bought something, but
I didn't realize it was a mystery thing until I researched it after. Like, is it a mystery thing? I was like, oh yeah.
Love that. We're not good at like paying attention to what we buy. We just buy stuff and then I'm like, wait, what did I buy?
We're not good at reading words.
So it's Turkish munchies. So I'm just gonna like open it and pick one out, I guess, and try it. because I actually worked with somebody who was from Turkey. So I sent her this picture and I was like, look at all these Turkish goodies. So, all right, I'm just going to go with this one. It's on top and it looks the most interesting. It's called Ozmo, O-Z-M-O Burger. See that?
I'm worried for you right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it doesn't expire for a while. So that's good at least. And of course, it's obviously not in English, so I can't.
They're two little vanilla biscuit buns sandwiched between a chocolate sauce patty.
That doesn't sound terrible, to be honest.
I had to Google it. It's like a chocolate cream cookie.
So that's what I'm just going to pull one out every week and you're going to Google it and tell me what's in it because I don't speak Turkish. So let's give this a shot. Oh, they actually kind of look like little mini burgers.
That's kind of cool.
What does that smell like?
It should be vanilla.
It smells
Chocolate.
it smells good actually, but it like legitimately looks like a burger.
Is that like the size of a dime, a quarter? What is that? It looks kind of tiny.
Yeah, probably like a dime, but it's thicker. All right, so let's give this. It smells like a vanilla wafer, basically.
I think that's what the biscuit cookie is. It's vanilla, so it's got to be like a wafer. He hasn't died yet, folks.
That's actually good. I just can't think of what it tastes like. There's like an American.
Is it like a Milano?
Kind of. But that's actually I'll eat all of these. These are actually pretty good. Yeah. Ozmo burger candy. I was thinking it was going to taste like, like it's going to have meat in it or something weird. So far, so good. I'd say we were one for one.
I can't wait to get one that you absolutely just it nauseates you.
Well, like should I show some of the other ones? It's like some really obscure things. Like look at this. Pizza crackers.
I feel like I would like that. Are they like combos?
It looks like it's got like pizza seasoning on it, and it's sort of like a chip. So like that looks like it'd be pretty good. It's called ETI pizza cracker, Kraker. And then there's like
they're bite-sized crunchy crackers flavored with zesty pizza flavored spices.
This kind of looks like a combination of Pop Rocks and like Fun Dip.
Now I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna make you chastise me. What are Pop Rocks and what is Fun Dip?
How do you not know what Fun Dip is? Yeah, it's got the.
Have you met me? I didn't know what a Chips Ahoy was.
But the Pop Rocks are like those things that you put in your mouth that are little rocks and then they sort of like bubble in your mouth.
I've never heard of that.
How is that possible?
I didn't know what a Nutter Butter was.
But like Pop Rocks and you don't know what Fun Dip is? The sugar,
No.
and then you had like the stick of. Honestly, I don't know what it was, but it
A
was
pixie
like
stick?
you could lick the stick and then you would dip it in the sugar and it would stick to the sugar, and it was sort of like a homemade lollipop kind of. That's basically what this seems like. It's the combination of both of those.
Is that what the old gentleman at the park said to you? You can lick the stick?
Shoe boogie boom. How have you never heard of these things? They're like
I've
childhood candies. Yeah, see the Pop Rocks, you go on your tongue and they pop.
Never in my life.
I can't wait to try this one actually. But there's like so many things in here. And like, what is this? New today snowball with coffee cavelli. Some of this stuff that just seems super obscure. What is this? Nuts, N-U-T-Z-Z party. Cheddar and Sogan? What? What's Sogan? Can you look up S-O-G-A-N? The hell that means? Maybe it's onion because there's an onion on the package. Cheddar and onion.
Yeah, it's an onion.
Okay, that one I'm not gonna like. Well, actually, I mean, onion flavor is not terrible.
You like sour cream and onion
It's
stuff,
weird.
don't
I
you?
do like sour cream and onion, and I like Cooler Ranch Doritos, but I hate ranch and I hate onions. Like some other stuff. Danker Pody. No clue what that is.
That doesn't even sound appetizing.
Wanted Boomba. I'm really excited to try these. Oh, is that carrot cake? Oh my God, you would love this. It's carrot cake.
Ooh.
I love how they each have an.
It's a carrot and cinnamon cake.
They have an expiration date on each of these, so that's nice. This is pretty cool. Plus, I have the British candy and I have the Australian candy, so we're gonna be doing this for a while.
We found our niche.
I'm super happy with the Turkish box. I wonder what other stuff they have on there.
Yeah, me too.
All right, now I got to get the flavor of. Has like water poisoned myself. Live.
Chug it. Chug, chug, chug.
Oh, that was pretty good. All right, so I put last day of work to talk about. My last day of work was a couple days ago, and I know you've worked at the same place for like 50 years, but you've moved around a lot, right? So you have any like stories of like last day of work? Did they ever give you like a goodbye? Any like funny stories of like, I'm glad I'm not going to work with this asshole anymore?
No, I mean, I've been with the same company for almost 13 years. I've gone to all different positions, left stores, gone to others.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. My birthday was a few days ago. Not a single person at work wished me a happy birthday.
Well, there was one time we went to the Danbury Mall and Alex and I asked the lady where you were, and she said, "Oh, he's not in today." And I was like, "We literally just texted him. He said he was in his office." And you had seen her that day.
Yep.
And so I realized that Macy's doesn't hire exactly the smartest people sometimes.
Well, in her defense, her name's Kathleen.
There's no
she
defense.
she was probably this was like what, a decade ago at least
Close.
A decade ago.
Yeah.
She was in her late 70s then. She still works there now. Let's put it that way.
But she like literally saw you. It's not like she didn't see you that day, but she also didn't bother to ask. Like, you don't have like a communication system where you could at least be like, let me see if he's in his office.
Well, they have like, phone extensions and they have radio so they can radio, but like, have you seen that?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I also don't know why we even bothered to ask why we didn't just call you. Like, this wasn't before cell phones. We could have just texted you, but I guess we were just walked in there and they're like, yeah, I haven't seen you. It's like, I know he's here. So how was it hard to say goodbye to her?
I said to goodbye like 4 times. She didn't remember.
Really?
No, I'm kidding about that.
But like is it hard to leave coworkers? You sit in an office all day when you were in the store, right? Do you ever like interact with a lot of people?
It is hard. The hardest one was when I did a lot of the traveling. I would have somebody that I would always travel with, like we would carpool and things like that. When we both went to different positions, that one was tough because you're used to seeing the same people and like
you guys would drive to work, drive to work together, or like drive to like Buffalo together,
like drive to like Buffalo or all those things, like 6-hour drives and stuff like that.
I don't know how you did that. Driving.
Well, Kate gets to do that now. It's fantastic.
Just to Buffalo, just to sit in a store. Like,
and sometimes I would do it same day.
Yeah,
I would leave at like 4 a.m., get there at like 10, be there till like 4 p.m., and then drive home, be home at like 10 p.m.
I don't know if I could do that. Like, I kind of like driving, but that's a lot for one day. I'd at least want to like spend the night. Like, that's a lot.
I mean, sometimes you would because you'd have to be there 2-3 days, or you'd have to go from Buffalo to Rochester to Syracuse, wherever it might be.
Like, I never understood. Like, people would come visit from corporate or whatever, and they would just like take their normal calls like in the store. It's like they didn't really seem to do anything in that
like,
store.
What's the point of being here?
So what exactly? Like, why? Like, sometimes you would come and like do a store walkthrough to see how everything was going, but it's like, and she also was like based in New York, so it wasn't like but you to go to fucking Buffalo to just do your normal stuff that you could do in Danbury.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's like, why are you here?
And you got paid for your gas and stuff. So it was like, I don't understand why they made you do that. The
amount of money that you would get for like mileage and things like that, it was like having a part-time job.
It just seems like
1 year, I think I made like $12,000 just in mileage mileage reimbursement. Put way too many miles. I was putting like 4,000 miles a month on my car, which was awful. But
and they pay for gas, or the sum of gas, or is it just mileage?
You pay for your own gas, but it's mileage. Then if you rented a car, you wouldn't get mileage reimbursement. They would pay for your gas.
Did you ever do that?
I did once when my car was in the shop.
Like, that would sound cool, but like I would, if I'm driving that far, I want my own car.
Something you're used to and comfortable in.
Yeah. Like,
the only reason why you would probably want to do it is to save mileage on your car.
If you don't want to, so that's the one thing, like, why I'm moving. Like, now my job is like 12 or 13 miles instead of 30. And then from Danbury, I was putting almost 100 miles a day on my car because it was about 45, 50 going, 45, 50 coming back. So now I don't have to go. My car is so fucked though. I fucking, I don't know if I should talk about this. I mean, who's going to listen to this, right? Like, I hit a deer. Like, the first time I ever hit an animal. So you know how you see the deer come and then you always slow down because there's always a fucking another one. So I like see the 2 deer and I'm like, oh fuck, all right, whatever, I'm gonna go. Because I looked, nothing else. Soon as I go, I see this stupid asshole running the fuck out. I slam on the brakes. It hit him really good. Like I nailed him, and I sort of saw him like limping away, and it only did a little bit of damage, but my whole car is just fucked up. I have to put in a claim for insurance because like I have to have the whole front bumper replaced because it's like cosmetic damage, but the whole bumper needs to be replaced, and I'm just fucking lazy. But like I've gotten so many dings on my car that I have no idea where they came from. And then
parking lots. It's always parking lots.
But I would park in Westport, and like every day there'd be something new in there. And I'm like, there's nobody, it doesn't look like anybody's near me. How are all these dents and scratches coming? But then I don't know if you went out this day. It was like a month ago or so, where it was just like ice everywhere. Like I drove 15 miles total, maybe, to where I made it and then turned back. Took me about an hour, and it was the worst experience of my life driving. Sheets of ice, like literally. I almost got stuck, banged the back of my car on a fence. Like I thought I was gonna have to pull over and just sit there, and I was like, I'm not doing that, because imagine just pulling over and sitting there for like 4 hours. It was like sheets of ice everywhere. I don't know how I made it home. I was terrified. Like the back of my car is now messed up. The front is fucked up. I need new tires. At this point, it's probably cheaper to get a new car.
It probably would be at this point. I think in this new house, obviously, because I'm working from home, I haven't had to drive in inclement weather much, but I've had to shovel already 3 times in like the last week and a half.
Is your driveway bigger?
It's wider, but shorter. So it's much easier.
It's shorter. The driveway we had in Danbury was already pretty short.
It's shorter, but it's wider. But the issue is I have to get like the driveway repaved next year, because there's like a 2-foot dip at the end of the driveway. So it's like right now it's a gigantic sheet of ice because it's, rained and it snowed. The freaking puddle's like 18 inches deep. I'm sitting there the other day shoveling. After I shovel the snow, I'm trying to shovel some of the water out.
Oh my God. So you need to get a fucking snowblower. Didn't I send you a TikTok of the one where it was the guy was just pushing it, and like it looked like I don't know if it was electric or if it was just like a hand crank thing, but like it looked like super easy.
They make battery powered snowblowers.
Yeah, you should get something like that. I'm surprised you don't have that.
I will next year.
So you don't have to fucking do that, because aren't you terrified of having like a heart attack out there?
Well, with how much I work out now, no, but I'm terrified of slipping in the ice and falling and breaking my neck.
That's true.
Which I've yet to do. I haven't done that. That used to be like my Danbury staple. I'd slip and fall.
Well, do you fall down the stairs still, or up the stairs?
Yeah, not as often as I did when we first moved here.
Have you fallen down the stairs yet? I feel like you told me you
twice.
did once.
Yeah.
Can you just start recording yourself 24/7? Like
I gotta get some of those.
GoPro on all the time.
Well, I should get the security cameras. I should put a couple in the house.
So
you can watch the damage.
Those are the best TikToks. Like you have to put a Ring camera so you can get, if you have any crazy people just like licking your doorbell. Wasn't that a guy on Live PD? Just like licking doorbells and shit. So you can put that on TikTok. You falling in your house, or you falling down the front steps if it's icy. Like those are the best videos.
So your last day at work, I saw you put it on Instagram, the cake that they got you.
Oh yeah, if you want to check out Instagram, RoadDog71, ROADDAWG71. I posted the cake.
That cake was awesome.
She bought it was a generic wrestling figure, so you could see it looked like John Cena and like Roman Reigns, and there was a Finley, but it was like an off brand, so you couldn't use their names. And then it had the 6-sided ring, but I was not expecting a cake. Let me pull it up and I can show the picture.
I mean, that was awesome. It was obviously they know you well.
Yeah, it was this. So like the 6-sided TNA ring, but you can see like John Cena's in the corner, and she put the guy under the guardrail. I was like, this is like, I think Roman's there, and then Finley and Rey Mysterio. I mean, look at the blue guys. That's clearly Rey Mysterio. And I was just like, this is, you kind of nailed this. So I have those toys. I kept those. They made me take the rest of the cake home. But it was weird, because like I've never voluntarily left a job. I've only had 2 jobs. Like after college, I started working at Crate and Barrel for like almost 5 years, and then they fired me. That was a whole like fucking shit show. Oh my, one of the worst companies. I think I was on a final performance warning for like 4 years. It was ridiculous. Very immature. Plus I was also working with people I knew. Like you have a friend who you grew up with, and then they're a manager, and you're just like, you don't have the maturity to treat them as a manager. So it's a fucking disaster. Hector, I worked with Hector there, Ben from Fantasy, fucking Bill. You know, you met him a couple
I remember
times.
Bill.
Fucking West Con. He brought me like George Washington books. Fucking the paper that I paid you to write, and you fucked it up. And I had to retake.
I forgot to cite that last source.
You forgot to. I paid you like $200 or $300 to write me a paper.
That last source. I cited almost all the other sources.
To be honest, I still don't know how to write a research paper. All my research papers are literally just copy, pasting, and citing. You cited everything. I don't even know if I read the paper. Obviously, I didn't. You forgot to cite like the last page, and the guy failed me.
Yep.
Couldn't just be like, dude, I cited everything but the last page. You can't just let me cite it. And then no, I didn't get kicked out of school, but I had to retake the class. And I'm pretty sure like I was like really depressed. My parents were like, you got to get out. You have to finish. You have to be done with this. And I was like skipping class. I was like fucking super depressed. And I don't know if I emailed him. I know my parents talked to him. And I'm pretty sure one of us was just like, please just give him a fucking passing grade and let him fucking move on. So I got a D in that class, but I ended up, the first 2 classes I ever failed were like the last semester because I was so depressed and I was not going to class.
I still feel bad about not citing that last source.
I don't know how you fucking forgot. Well, I mean, like obviously you didn't do it on purpose. You just forgot.
Especially since I cited everything. I still feel bad about that.
I don't even know. Like, how do you do a research paper? I never understood. Like, I always just copied and pasted stuff. Like, I never understood how to write because I wrote one on George Washington in high school and I got like an A on it, and it was basically the same thing. But like, I just didn't want to do this shit. So
my senior thesis, I got an A+ on in college. It was like 75 pages about the Battle of Antietam from the Civil War and how that changed the North's mindset during the war. Literally, like 75 pages on the Battle of Antietam.
That must have been after mine, right? Or was it before?
I think it was before.
Oh, God damn it. Because I could have just used that one. You know, that fucking rant we use in the beginning, that clip, he talks about the Battle of Antietam.
Really?
That's in that clip. He's like, I don't want to go on a rant here. Something about Beowulf and the Battle of Antietam. Yes, you're like, what do you do with the research paper? Do you write like your thoughts and then you have like a few citations?
Well, you have to have a thesis statement of like what you're intending to prove within that paper, and then
I think mine was like George Washington was good, or something vague like that. Like, yeah, let's write another paper on George Washington. Like there aren't 6 billion of those. Great.
George Washington, were his teeth wooden? Let's find out.
A whole thesis about that 15 pages later. I still don't know. Sorry. That was a disaster. But yeah. So you ever get any send-offs from work like that? Ever get any cakes? Did anybody care enough? Did Steve Macy himself come down and talk to you?
I remember when I worked in the Bronx and then I got promoted out of that store. They actually threw a freaking party.
They invited Jeter and Bernie and those guys.
They invited Bucky Dent. That was the store where I met Bucky Dent. I was like so pumped. And my store manager at the time was
remember that.
Dude was like, he's like, it's fucking Bucky Dent. Who cares? I'm like, it's a Yankee legend.
Was he shopping or was he like doing an autograph signing?
He was doing autograph signing in the store.
Wait, seriously? In Macy's? For what? His line of fucking gloves?
No, just because we were in the Bronx, the store had just opened. So it was trying to get publicity to get people in there. We had Marcus Samuelson come out to do something with cooking. Why do I know that name? Chef, celebrity chef.
Yeah, why do I not know what he looks like?
If you saw him, you would recognize him.
Is he on? What is he on?
He's been on Chopped. He's been on Guys Grocery Games.
I think I know his fit. What's his name? Marcus Samuelson?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what? Okay, that guy doesn't look like a Marcus, but yes, I've absolutely seen that guy.
Yeah, he came out for one of the events that we had, and he was cooking stuff in our home store.
He announced that he was gay in Macy's.
Yeah, 100%.
Marcus Samuelson is here for an announcement. Hi, everybody. I'm gay. Thank you for coming. Bye. That's kind of cool. I wish like stores I worked at fucking like Crate and Barrel used to sell like Rachel Ray and Giada cookbooks. Like get them in there for a fucking signing. Let's do that shit. It's kind of cool that they wanted to bring in a Yankee for an opening of Macy's.
I mean, granted, I don't know why they chose Bucky Dent, but
probably affordable.
Joe Pepitone wasn't available.
Bucky Dent's probably better than that, right?
I mean, people knew who he was. I mean, Bucky believed in Dent. I was the one that was most excited for it.
Oh yeah, of course. Like
let's put it this way: the line of people trying to get his autograph, people felt bad. We actually had to start getting employees to take off their name badges and put on different shirts and wait in line, so Bucky didn't get upset.
Oh no, that's the most awkward thing. That's so depressing. Did you ever see any celebrities in stores? Like I can't imagine like too many celebrities just walking around Macy's.
There have been. Not in some of the stores that I worked in.
I mean, for you specifically.
For like, me specifically,
any celebrity?
Just a couple Yankees when I worked in the Bronx.
Could you
like Joe Girardi? Joe Girardi.
That's kind of cool.
I remember once when I worked in White Plains, I went to Starbucks and Joe Girardi was there.
I feel like you told me this. Didn't you also see
Darren Young?
Shut up! You didn't even give me. I was gonna say Otunga. I knew it was one of those guys.
It was Darren Young.
Didn't you say anything to him?
Yeah, it was after he tore his ACL and he was wearing like a knee brace.
And you laughed at him.
It was at the Muscle Maker Grill in White Plains.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, like
I was so pumped up to see Darren Young. He's like, how the hell do you know that?
Darren Young. The last celebrity I saw
before he blocked the hate
was Dennis Leary was in Greenwich. Like as soon as he walked in, I'm weird. Like I saw Bernie Williams in Greenwich. They all have their masks on, and I like somehow recognize them instantly. But like you can't. Dennis Leary is hard not to recognize, and he wouldn't talk because he knew that if he talked, everyone like we already knew who he was. But that's a voice, you're gonna be like,
it's a recognizable voice.
So like he wouldn't talk, and we were all standing around talking to each other. Like, yeah, it's fun. And I hate Dennis Leary. I don't think he's funny. He stole his entire gimmick from Bill Hicks. If you want to do any research about that, like I don't know a lot about Bill Hicks, but I've done a little bit of research. He stole like his whole persona and his gimmick. And one of Bill's quotes is like, I wanted to stop smoking just to see if Dennis would, because he just copied everything from him. I also don't find him funny.
I think he has some funny things.
Yeah, so do you.
Some.
Like your penis is funny, but like, are you funny?
No.
Like I liked him in Demolition Man. He's a pretty good actor.
He was basically being like his comedic persona.
I never watched Rescue Me or anything with Dennis Leary. Just not a big fan. Like the guys
Rescue Me was a good show.
Got to scream. Like, was he a firefighter in that show?
Yes.
Like, I don't. Yeah, what was on FX?
Yep.
So I saw him. Bernie Williams was in there. Judge Judy was in there.
Don't forget Jalen Rose. You see Jalen Rose all the time.
Oh, I saw him on the street and I recognized him. Yep. And then we get a lot of the owner of the Warriors is like good friends with the CEO of the company, and he's like doing like a big project for his house. And my best friend that I work with, who's still there, she got promoted she works for corporate doing like renderings and stuff. She's working on his big project for his
That's cool.
$25 million house. And she said, yeah, it's the owner of the Warriors. And I was like, oh my God, it's the guy who just said something racist. But it turns out that's like a minority owner or whatever. So like Joe LaCobb or whatever.
So not the actual like face of the franchise.
No, she's doing the one for him. The guy who did the
the guy who did the thing wasn't the actual.
Did he ever get in trouble? Did he like?
No, not really.
What didn't he say? What was it like? Genocide's fine or some shit like that? Like
it was this. I forgot what country they were talking about where there's a lot of genocide happening.
Yeah.
Again, don't worry about it.
It's fine. Don't
cool.
worry. Yeah. So like, just why do people talk? Like, you're a basketball owner. Stop talking about that shit. But did you ever work with anybody you like hated or like the place?
All the time.
Like
Still do.
That's true. But like, it's very weird because like I had to get out of there. It was like 95% good, 5% bad, but the 5% bad was like outweighing the 95% good, which that doesn't like logically make sense. But like, you know what I mean? It's like so many great things. And then the one bad thing, it just fucking ruins your day, where I'd be like, I hate being around this one specific person. And it's pretty good because a lot of the people we hire are really good. Like even the new people, we hired people like a month ago. I was like really sad to leave. And I'm like, I only known you for a few weeks, but like we hired a guy my second to last day, and I was sad to leave him because he seemed like a nice guy. But there was just one dude. Hopefully my old boss doesn't listen to this because it's not part of the values. But like I just had to get out of there because it was like, do I take the risk and find a new job and have to learn all this new shit, or I could just stay here and not have to deal with that and then be unhappy? And I was like, I can't logically stay here. There's too many negatives. The commute alone is like, I'm not 30 miles sitting in an hour of traffic every day.
And now, even if you get stuck in traffic, it's going to take you 30 minutes max.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't even know if I have to go on the highway. So, but there are positives to everything. There are negatives to everything. So we'll see how it goes. But
I'm very much, I don't like change. I'm anti-change.
No.
I don't adapt to change well.
You have no idea how hard this was to choose to leave. As shitty as I was feeling every day, I was like so unhappy for like 6 months.
I mean, how long were you there? You were there for like 8 years, 7 years?
I already 7 years. I already did this technically before everything got shut down. Well, basically when Westport was closing. So I was like, wasn't being furloughed. I was being let go because they didn't have a spot in Greenwich. So the store closed, not because of COVID, but they
It was
also
right
shut.
before.
They
Yeah.
also shut down the company for COVID. So like I was given severance, and I was sitting at home. The 2 months we were in lockdown, I had no job. I had nothing. So I was like, I'm gonna let this pass. Obviously, fucking now we know it's never gonna pass. But I was like, I'll just wait for stuff to open again. Then I'll start looking for a job because I don't want to look for a job and if it's still dangerous to go out or whatever. And then right around my birthday, I think slightly before that, they were like, yeah, we need you. So I came over there. And then the fucking guy who I hate, oh God, like he got sick and hurt at the same time, not with COVID. So they called me because they needed somebody. So he was gone. I took his spot. And then a year and a half later, he comes back and you could tell it was like, he was not interested in fucking having somebody took his spot. So, you know, those people who are like super loud and always talkative and always like, and then they don't talk and you're like, all right, you're obviously pissed off. So he'd be like talking around everybody and then I'd be around and he'd be like silent. And so I was like, instantly, I was like,
that's not passive aggressive at all.
before he came back, I was like, this guy's going to fucking ruin everything. I just know it. So I'm already being negative, but I was like, I'll at least give it a shot. So I like tried to be nice. I tried to make conversation and like complimented on his work. Hardly ever said hello or goodbye to me. So I was like, fuck you, dude. I'm done with you. And it was like two people are doing the same job. So it's like, it's kind of hard to split between. Then him coming back fucked up my schedule. I finally, after a year and a half, negotiated Sundays off. So it was September. I had all September Sundays off. And then the schedule got fucked around where I had to work half Sundays. So that got fucked up. And then I was just like, I don't know if you have these people where it's like you give a schedule. This is what you're supposed to do this time. You go on break here. This is what you're supposed to do. And it's just like, I swear to God, he just would never follow what he's supposed to be doing. He could just come and he's been with the company for like 20 years. So like a lot of people know him. So I just sort of felt like nobody cared what he did.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, you're supposed to be doing this. Why are you doing this? All right. Like he's on fucking painting the walls that are fucked up. So he's painting the walls and then he'll randomly come and do a customer return. And I'm just like, what are you doing?
He's like Cartman. He's like, whatever, I do what I want.
Pretty much. I'm like, I'm on returns. I'll do them. You don't have to do them immediately. Why would you stop painting and go do that? It's like all over the place. And I'm just like, I'm so unhappy. Like, I just don't want to be around you. And have you ever been with somebody who's just like disgusting physically, where it's like they smell?
Oh.
And like, there are people I worked with, it was weird because they'd have perfume on and you could go into a room and you could be like, oh, that person was in here. But his was like
with body odor.
It was like he hasn't showered for 6 months, but also dumped a bottle of cologne on himself. So it was like a mixture of both, and it was disgusting. And that's
his idea of showering, I
guess. And I was just like, this is gross. You're lazy and not good at your job. And he'd yell at people and stuff. And I'm just like, how do you work here? I don't understand. And it's just like, I guess he's been here so long, you're not going to fire him. But it was just like, I couldn't do it anymore. And I had to get rid of the 5% bad. And I had to just move on.
So you got better commute, weekends off, no earlier mornings and stuff like that.
I have Sundays off now. I have a set schedule at least. So I have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, off Sunday. So it splits the week up to where it's like 3 days, day off, 2 days, day off. So I don't have to work 5 days in a row. Thankfully. Now that
you're off on Thursdays, that means you can stay up late to watch Dynamite on Wednesdays.
Oh, that's true. I should switch it. Should be off Wednesday so I could watch NXT. So I don't have to watch Dynamite. But I only have to work at 9.
Still could actually.
The store hours are 9:30 to 5 or 10 to 5:30. My hours are 9 to 5:30. So
and you live half an hour away. So conceivably you could get up at 8 o'clock and still make it to work.
I don't have to work at 6 a.m. anymore, 7 a.m. I don't have to do that stuff. But like the role would like expand into more stuff than what it's supposed to be. But like, they know, obviously no company is going to be like, we're making you do more work. Here's more money. Right. So that's my fault for not asking for more money. But like, they kept adding shit onto my plate. And I'm like, this is too much stuff that I don't want to like, I had to clean furniture. I had to like patch, paint, do maintenance. I had to rake the courtyard. I had to shovel snow, rake leaves.
At least they trust you enough to do that stuff. So that says a lot too.
They just have nobody else.
They also knew too much of a chicken should ask for more money.
I did though. Like I started making a certain amount. And then like, I found out that the housekeeper was making.
I remember you told me that.
$6 an hour more than I was. And I was like, I don't necessarily think you don't deserve it, even though that seems like a lot for a housekeeper. But she was basically cleaning a giant 2-floor gallery by herself. But I was like, I don't feel like you should be making $6 more than I do. But like, I couldn't go to my boss and be like, I want a $6 raise. Like, so I asked for a $2 raise and I got that. And I still felt like I was being underpaid. But it was like, you keep asking me to do more shit. I should have just asked for more money, but I didn't. But
A lot of companies do. They'll pay you the same, ask you to do more, but with less help.
like, no
It's like
company's going to offer you more money. Like, you have to ask for it. So that's what I should have done. But like, it's weird for me to ask for more money because I was part-time in Westport the whole time and I was underpaid and I was just like, whatever. I don't have any bills to pay.
And then you became full-time.
I was still living at home. I didn't become full-time until I went to Greenwich. I forget, like I worked 5.5 years or 5.5 years part-time because it was like, all right, I was still living at home. I don't have any bills, whatever. I'll just take the job. And then it's a jolt working 3 days a week to working 5 days a week. It's a lot. So I was like, and I have 200 hours of vacation that I'm going to get paid out because I didn't take a single vacation. Like at all. Because there was nowhere to go. I didn't want to just sit at home. So I was like, I'll just keep it and roll it over and then I'll go somewhere when COVID and then fucking Omicron hit. So I was like, I'm not going anywhere fucking anytime soon again. So I have like 200 hours. So my next paycheck should be 200 hours for fucking vacation.
That's a lot of boxes you can buy.
Of what, cards?
Yeah.
I'm sort of out of the card game. Like I buy Bobby Fish cards. Like you should see
Gotta
them.
get back in, baby.
It's too expensive. It's fucking, and plus Topps just sold to Fanatics.
Which is gonna be awful.
But like when it was first just Fanatics is taking over the license, we were like, what the fuck? But I think now that they bought Topps, it'll still be top stuff. Just Fanatics owns them. And WWE also went over to Panini. So it'll be a whole new set of cards. So I might have to get back into it. But the AEW cards, like WWE, it's inferior. You don't get a guaranteed hit. So you could buy a box. Like remember that?
Nothing.
Yeah. Kind of like that stupid Daredevil box you got me. I thought it was going to be awesome and it ended, but at least I think that had an autograph. This you could literally get no autographs or no like used memorabilia.
So what's the point? It's just like you risk the chance to get it. That's stupid.
Because the WWE ones will be a guaranteed autograph, guaranteed relic, guaranteed 2 autographs, whatever. But I literally have spent probably hundreds of dollars in the last few months just on Bobby Fish cards. Because the market is so ridiculous. Bobby Fish. He's the only guy I collect anymore because it's too expensive to collect any woman. Like literally any woman on the roster is like astronaut. Alexa Bliss is like, her cards go for like hundreds to thousands of dollars. It's ridiculous. Why? Even some Bobby Fish cards I had to pay $100 for, close to $200.
Why though?
The women are popular because there are a lot of creepy guys like us out there who fantasize about being with them. And like I paid $175 for a Bobby Fish card. But it's a one of one. So there's no other one on the planet. So you got to like collect the rainbow. I feel like I've had this conversation with you because you don't understand the point of collecting cards.
Yeah. I mean, I collected baseball cards. My baseball card collection is probably 20,000 cards. I haven't collected cards in probably 15 years.
I don't think they did the color scheme back then. Like they do it where it's like, all right, we're giving you just say Bobby Fish. All right, cool. So there'll be 199 base cards. Then there'll be 99 green colors, 50 blue, 25 whatever color, orange, 10 black, and then 5 whatever. So they could go down the line where it's like harder to find. So there's like 5 purple cards, and you have to find 5 purple cards in the entire fucking world. So it's hard to get the whole rainbow. Like his one set, I have every single fucking card, including the printing plates they use to make the cards, but the red one of one. And that's sold on eBay like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's gone ever since. I check eBay like every fucking day for Bobby Fish cards. It's depressing. See how it turned last day of work turned into fucking trading cards.
If I ever, like I said, we go all over the place. My baseball card collection is probably 20,000 cards.
You might have some like, you should start looking into it because I mean, you probably have a lot of like junk wax, but like you might have a few diamonds in the rough. You never know.
Well, I know I do have one card that actually is valuable. My dad got it for for me when I was like 5, an autographed Nolan Ryan rookie card.
Like, is it in person autographed? Or was it like
he got it signed?
You could probably get that authenticated and then graded because grading cards is now like the big thing where it's like PSA was like backlogged for like a year. It's insane.
when I used to be really into it, I used to alphabetize my cards. I'd have all these binders and they'd all be alphabetized.
By player or by team? Because I used to do it by team.
I did it by player. I have he is my favorite baseball player ever, even though he was awful. I have so many Alvera Espinosa cards. It's
Awful.
sickening.
Awful.
Sickening. how
Are
many
you like
Alvera
that? Are you
Espinosa
like that
cards.
Will Clark guy on TikTok where he didn't understand how collecting works and he just collected Will Clark cards? Like the same
not that
card,
bad.
like a million.
I would always get packs and packs and packs of cards. And for whatever reason, Alvera Espinosa was always in every effing pack.
I remember in like 5th grade, Bill, who we talked about earlier, I really wanted what was it? This kid I had, you mentioned combos earlier. I had never really had combos, so I really wanted them. And this kid had like a bag of cheddar cheese combos. So Bill traded him a Sean Kemp rookie card for the bag of combos. And we were like this was like big with Pogs and like trading cards back then, where it was like these random, like I was obsessed with Garnett and Marbury. And I had like their Timberwolves cards and I fucking loved that shit. And he traded a Sean Kemp. I wonder if that's worth anything.
I bet you it has to. I mean, it's probably not worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Something like that. It's Sean.
It also
Kemp,
depends
but I bet
on
you it's
like
worth.
the product and what condition it's in. But
What
it's just, like,
brand? Was it Tops? Was it what was it? You know what I mean?
What did you just get rid of?
I shifted something to general topics for next week.
Oh, all right. What is it? What I would do if you killed yourself. Jeez, it's a mess.
Throw
Dark.
a party.
So what are we?
Throw a party.
I feel like I'm done ranting on my last day of work. I mean, it's tough moving on, especially when
So do you start your new job on Monday?
Yeah. I signed up for my emails all set up, and it's like I have to learn the new system, so I'm trying not to freak out. But it's like I've already gotten like 20 something emails because it's like I'm going to be doing shipping, and it's just like every time somebody orders something, it seems like I get a message about it. So I'm going to be doing the shipping. So
I
learned.
Email on your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, getting fancy.
I don't like, I had that before, but it was like I was so unimportant. I never really needed to check my email. But like I should probably start. I learned a lot from this process of like ask more questions before you accept a job. Like, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I have an idea, but it could, like, who knows if that's what it actually is. But I should have probably been like, let me come in and do another interview and let me show me exactly what I'm doing. But I think it'll be fine. I know somebody who works there because he's the one who got me the interview. So I think he says it's great. So I'm nervously excited. And if nothing else, I don't have to drive very far. So, but then it's like
work-life balance is going to be better. But then you're going to be home sooner, getting out later. Like, what the hell are you going to do with your time?
I'll just sit in bed and do nothing. Like I love just coming home after work and just like laying in bed, fucking looking at TikTok. But it was like hard. Like, did you ever meet anybody at work and then you like became really like best friends?
Yeah.
Like, so like leaving them, it was like really hard. Although like the two closest people I'm friends with, one moved, like we have a second store, a sister store, like up the road. So we'd have to, that's also one thing I was doing. We'd have to work 2 different stores.
That's annoying.
Like all the shit you have to do it there, you have to go do on a smaller scale, but up there also. So it was like all that extra work. So one of them got promoted up there. And then the other one I told you got promoted to like corporate. So she's working at home more. So it was like, I don't even have anybody who I'm really close to anymore. So it's like, fuck, I got to get out of here. But it's like, I talk to you every day. My one friend from work every day. I talk to her every day. And then like the group chat with you and Alex. And like, that's it. Like,
that's basically me. I talked to you, my friend from work who I used to travel with. This is funny. So I moved to Poughkeepsie. She is the store manager 5 minutes from here. I have not seen her in 2 years.
that sounds like you though.
I mean, that is me. I mean,
you probably, you won't see her at all.
Mhm.
We lived together and we hardly saw each other. We don't like hanging out with people.
I'm not
Like,
big into like doing things.
exactly. That's what, like, you'd come down and it would be fun, but I'd be like, all right, leave. It's fine. You don't have to stay down here that long. Cause like, I prefer to be alone. Absolutely. But like, I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm not going to do anything. If you invited me somewhere, like I would do it. Like you, Hector, Ben, like those are like my best friends. So like, yeah, I would hang out, but it's like, I don't really need to. Like,
Well, that's what like she's asked, like, oh, do you want to get a drink? I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
No,
not really. Like, it's, you know how hard it used to be for like Alex and I to do something with you? You would just ignore us. We'd be like, yeah, there's this wrestling show. And you'd be like, hey, did you hear the Undertaker got his nipple pierced or something? And we'd be like, yeah, the way to just deflect on what we're talking about. We're not going away. I'm not going to fucking asshole. But like, I'm the same way. Like Hector will text me or he'll call me and I'll be like, if I pick up, and then he's going to ask me to do something.
Why would he call? Don't
I
do
think
that.
I swear to God, he does that on purpose because he knows I hate it.
Oh,
It makes me so. He's like,
if
I
anyone,
wanted to hear your voice, and I'm like, just text me, man.
if anyone ever calls me, even in my family, if they call me, I'm like, okay, who died?
I don't
It's like
want
something bad happened. Somebody died.
I hate talking on the phone. So he'll call me, and I'm like, just text me, because then if somebody calls you and you're like, they ask you to hang out, and you have to come up with a lie and you have to say it, sounds worse than just texting. Like, just text me. Somebody would be like, if you text me or somebody texts me, goes, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? I need to know what you want in order for me to tell you what I'm doing. Like,
It depends.
it depends on what you want. If you want to go out, I'm busy. If you want to just ask me a question, yeah, I'm here, I'm fine, good. But like, I generally don't want to go out. Like, the two friends I have from work want to go out and have dinner, and I'm like, I love you guys, but like, maybe
I love you, not that much.
I just don't want to go out. Like,
and I hate the people that have their read receipts on their text. I hate that. I don't want to know that you read my text and then you're not fucking responding to me. Kiss my ass.
that's an iPhone thing, right?
Yep.
Because why would you ever, like, I get it's nice to know if somebody read it, but like, if you turn yours off, you can't see other people's, right? It's got to be something like that, right?
No, if mine are always off, but if they have theirs on, I see it.
I don't know
They
why.
won't see that I've read their text.
Yeah,
I'll see that they
I don't
read
know
mine.
why anybody would ever have that on, because then you can't ignore a text. So like, I don't know why you would ever put that on.
It's like, oh no, I didn't see your text. Yeah, you did. 329, asshole.
Yeah, it's like Snapchat too. If you open it, I can see you opened it.
Yep.
And you didn't respond. Like, I hate that.
Or like on Instagram when it shows that you've seen something.
Speaking of Instagram, if you notice, I've had that on the Google Doc for like since episode 1.
Yeah, Instagram rant.
But let me go on this fucking rant. Yeah. So like, let me get back to the screen so I can see you. Yeah. So like, I feel like it's proper coworker etiquette. If somebody follows you on Instagram, you follow them back. Like, if you followed somebody you worked with and they either didn't accept your request or didn't follow you back, do you not read into that they don't like you?
Let's put it this way. I have probably a half a dozen people that I work with that follow me on Instagram that I have not followed back.
And you don't think that they don't think that you don't like them? Like, you don't think that that's what they would think?
I mean, I probably do, but then at the same time, it's so much effort, like follow back and like.
You're the worst. You're exactly who I'm talking about. So if I followed you on Instagram and you didn't follow me back,
I would think that you would think that I don't like you.
That's what I'm saying. And like, everyone is so nice to me at work. They're all like, so sad you're leaving. And they're always nice. We always have like, we're always pleasant with each other. And then I'll follow a few people. One of the bitches who doesn't work there anymore, so fuck you, never even accepted my request.
Do they just not go on Instagram?
No, because I would see who mutually follows them, because their account's locked, obviously. So I would follow them and I would see they're followed by 2 people that I followed. And then I would, because I'm psychotic, I would check, be like, did they ever accept? And then I'd be like, followed by 5 people I know. So you went on Instagram, and it's not like you don't know who I am. A, my fucking full name is in my bio. 2, scroll for 3 seconds, you'll see my face. And like, it just, you're a piece of fucking human garbage. And the only thing I could think of is either A, you don't like me, or B, your boyfriend or some husband, if you're even with somebody, would like, I don't want you to accept any guys. And I'm like, there's no way that's the thing. We're coworkers.
It
like,
still could be.
So like, anybody who does it, like they follow, like I just followed one of my coworkers yesterday. She followed back like immediately. And I was like, I love you forever. Like, you're amazing. If you don't follow back, like I've had a few that accepted the request and didn't follow back. So I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to follow you if you don't follow me back. I do the same thing on Twitter. I'll follow a bunch of people. Same thing on TikTok. If they don't follow me back, I'll go through my account and unfollow every single fucking person. Sometimes I'll do it like 9 times. I'm like, follow. Nope, unfollow. Follow. Maybe you're just not seeing it. Follow me back, or I'm not going to fucking follow you. I just like, I don't understand. It's coworker etiquette. And then I'm surprised. Like, I have an app that shows you who unfollows you on Instagram, and nobody since I've quit has unfollowed me. So, because I had people when I worked at Crate who like defriended me from Facebook, and I was like, I knew you fucking hated me. I had the idea you hated me, and I fucking knew it because you unfriended me. I fucking knew it. Oh, yeah, fucking ad. So I was like, it sends a wrong message. Like, I know there are people like you clearly don't care. My best friend who I work with doesn't care. She's like, yeah, I have people requesting me. I just leave it in my inbox or whatever. And I'm like, but that sends such a weird message that you don't like the person. And you guys have the ability to not give a shit.
Okay,
Like,
let's put it this way.
is your
I need to
account
check
locked?
something.
Is your account
No.
locked, or you just didn't follow back?
I just didn't follow back. So I actually have someone on Facebook that friend requested me
Oh yeah,
that I never accepted. They friend requested me 971 days ago.
How does that not bother you? Like, you don't see the notification all the time? Like, I have to get rid of those things. Like, somebody will request me on Facebook and I'll delete it like instantly. And I hope they just think that, oh, I guess I didn't do it correctly. But it's so awkward. I
I'm
followed
a
you.
dick, though.
Like, I'll follow a few more people I don't follow who I work with and see if they follow back. And then it'll be like, just like, now I'm gone. Come on. Really? I'll never see you again. You can't just follow me back. Like, it just sends such a bad message. And it's not even necessarily true that they don't like you. But like, what logical reason would you have for not following somebody back? Especially if you accept them.
What if you really don't go on Instagram often?
I mean,
or whatever the social media platform is.
but I'm saying these situations, that wasn't the case. But like, if you just never go on and you just didn't see it, okay, fine. But I don't know if I would know that. But I could see you accepted requests from other people.
Or you're posting something and your thing's not private. Why wouldn't you?
So like, I don't know what's worse, not accepting at all or accepting and then not following back. Because one, you're just like ignoring this person. The other one is like, yeah, you can follow me, but I don't care about following you. Like, I just don't get.
Well, it could be, I thank you for following me, but I don't care enough about your life to want to know what the hell's going on.
I guess I don't know. My friend from work, I should just say her name's Kate also. She'll be like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care about social media. It's not a big deal. And I'm like, this is the biggest thing in the world. This is the most important thing ever. I need to know if you like me or not. It just doesn't make any sense why you wouldn't. You can't be nice to my face and then not accept my Instagram request. It's just different messages. So like, I would fucking walk into work and I'd be like, you're fucking Instagram bitch. Fucking whore slut bitch. Eat that blueberry pie. Asshole.
Oh, thanks, Peter.
Whore slut bitch. It's a great quote. I don't remember. Is it the same episode? So remember when he goes, love you? That's
I think it is.
That's the bear and oh my God. What was Chris's teacher's name? The fucking password to the fort is taco. Mrs. Lockhart. And then it's also Peter and the blueberry pie. Love you. And your spouse is this piece of blueberry pie. Love you. All right. So that's my fucking rant about Instagram. I've been waiting like 9 episodes to fucking say. Just always pissed me off. And of course, you're one of those assholes who doesn't follow.
I mean, what do you want from me?
Follow your coworkers back.
I don't want to.
Such a bad fucking thing to say. Are we doing? Oh, we're not doing that now.
I think we're bumping into next week.
But isn't the Royal Rumble this weekend or
It's
next
next
week?
Saturday. It's next Saturday.
Oh, so we can record.
We should record before that, I would imagine.
Since I'm off every Thursday, it'll probably be. We actually might have a set schedule.
I wouldn't hate that. That'd be
Either
kinda
Wednesday
cool.
nights or Thursday.
I like it.
So we're gonna do next week. We're gonna do a Royal Rumble Final Four listicle type thing, and I figured it's gonna be too hard to go through every single 30 of them and like rank them in order, because as you go through them, you're like, all right, this one's the best, but the first one is better than the fifth one, and so I feel like you just mark off which one we say is the new number one. And then that's how we sort of like.
So there's 33. I already figured out, in my opinion, what the 7 worst were. And I have an idea of like the 4 best.
You're cheating.
If in my opinion.
Yeah, but
which obviously we'll be able to discuss and go through.
I mean, I guess there's no avoiding that since you did but it's like
I did the list.
If you want to rank, like you go 89, okay, that's the only one we know, so that's number 1. Then you go, all right, 90, that's better, so that's 1, and 89 is 2.
That's what I started.
That takes too. That could take too long. So I feel like we just do like, okay, 1992. That's now the new number 1. You mark that as being a number 1, and then we can go back and see which ones were like our best.
I started doing. I was like, okay, this one was awful. I'm like, you're the worst. I'm like, nope, this one's even worse.
Yeah. So like, we don't have to like, if we get up to the 90s, then it's like this is the worst one. We don't have to re-rank everything. You just mark off. So I guess you could do it where it's like you just highlight which one was the new number 1, and then. So we'll do that next week, and then if you want to, let's talk about fucking Dak first before the Trashers.
So I started thinking about this. Obviously, you're talking about the Dallas Cowboys losing in agonizing fashion, as only they do in the playoffs,
which we talked about on the YWC podcast.
Shout out to Griff and Randy. What's up? Alex was on there too, but fuck Alex. So I've had more time to digest what happened.
It was one of
and
the
I
most
know when we were
miserable.
talking about it, I was flip-flopping back and forth on it, but having more time to digest what
Well,
happened.
wait, hold on. You told everyone it was a great play call if they had a timeout, but it was a terrible play call because they didn't have a timeout. Okay, so in that situation, this is a terrible play call because they had no timeouts. You didn't have enough time on the clock to run. And if you did run, you needed to get down earlier. He fucked it up. No, not the referee. Mike McCarthy, fat ass.
The referee didn't help because in the last minutes of a game, the referee is supposed to be on the defensive side of the ball for the snap, so that type of thing doesn't happen. And he was on the offensive side of the ball, so he's supposed to be more downfield anyway. So that kind of fucked it up.
But also, Dak didn't know the rules because if he had just given the guy the ball, he wouldn't have pushed him away. He wouldn't have had to spot it a bunch of times. So probably would have saved him a second.
Him and the center were also in the way of the ref because he had to squeeze through. But having heard Dan Orlovsky talk about it, I heard a lot of
what did he say?
Pundits talk about it. It was the execution of the play. The play call itself wasn't bad. It was how they executed it for all those things you said. He should have gone down after maybe 10, 11 yards. They would have had 4 or 5 seconds left.
Yeah. So to me, that's, I think they didn't have enough time to run. Even if he did get down, like, I guess it's sort of both. I don't like the play call. I forgot
who it was. It was a former quarterback said that they practice that type of situation and you need at least 17 seconds.
It was like 17. Yeah. What do they have? 14?
They had 14. So if he had gone down 3-4 yards before, they get one last play then.
Well, the 49ers played terrible defense. The first 2 plays, they picked up 40 yards. They weren't playing sideline defense. No. And then the third play, they fucking decided to play sideline defense. So I was like, what are you guys trying? I swear to God, they were trying to lose.
What they were playing after the first quarter, the 49ers just stopped doing anything. And Dallas was beating themselves. First of all the penalties.
Both of them tried to lose. It was one of the worst games.
Yeah, it really was. But then the freaking the pass that Cedric Wilson missed because the sun was in his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Jones is a moron for having the stadium not be north to south and have it east to west so the sun gets in your eyes.
The old stadium was the same way, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, at least had that sun patch. Like, it makes no sense.
Idiotic. So idiotic. But I mean,
I'm so glad they lost. But like, I swear to God, they beat themselves up so much, and I still felt like they probably should have won.
They should have won. They had the ball with 3 minutes left, and they blew it. The fake punt, like, they had things that went their way, but then Dak did not play well.
He had a lot of bad games this year. But
he also had some amazing games. I think
like, he's supposed to be like more amazing. I expected like amazing all the time with like a couple of duds. He disappeared sometimes.
And then he had the calf injury. And I think they brought him back too soon from the calf injury because he only missed 1 game. He was bad for like 4 weeks in a row after that because I think he was timid because of the calf. So it had him playing differently. But also, Kellen Moore's play calling progressively got worse and too predictable throughout the rest of the season. It also didn't help that we had 2 hurt running backs. So that's putting more pressure on Dak, which why the fuck wouldn't you rest Zeke? He tore his PCL in week fucking 4 and all he needs is rest and you don't fucking rest him.
It'd be interesting to see if they cut either, because if Amari Cooper goes to the Patriots, like, okay, good for the Giants, because like most importantly, get him out of the division. But like, I don't want him to go to the fucking Patriots.
But I think they will end up cutting Amari Cooper because the production that you're getting from him,
he's also
price tag.
Yeah, he's also been like kind of not good, and like you already have CeeDee Lamb as you can be your number 1 anyway.
But that's also the thing. They're not using CeeDee Lamb right. They need to use CeeDee fucking Lamb like the 49ers use Deebo Samuel.
Can he do that?
Yeah. He's also a punt returner. Like he's fast enough to be like a Deebo Samuel. Give him the ball in the backfield, do reverses, jet sweeps, all those kinds of things.
He doesn't return punts, does he?
Yeah.
Why would you even risk that? It's not worth it.
Someone said, I saw this on Twitter, that because he was in single coverage for most of the game, that if this was Michael Irvin, he would have had 10 catches at halftime being in single coverage. This is the most amazing Michael Irvin stat that I've ever heard in my life.
Did they throw to CeeDee Lamb and he didn't catch him, or did they just not target him?
They never targeted him.
That's just dumb then.
That's just poor play calling. But Michael Irvin, never had 10 catches before halftime ever in his career. He only had more than 10 catches 7 times in his career in a game.
I feel like,
how is that humanly possible?
You could probably look up most receivers like that didn't, except for Jerry Rice. Like
that's amazing to me. Not even getting 10 catches in a game. That's amazing. That's less than 2 catches per quarter.
Oh, yeah, Troy Aikman. What did you expect? They just ran the ball with Emmitt Smith 58 times. There was a great
True.
TikTok.
58 times for 102 yards.
There was a great TikTok that showed like wide receiver by the best wide receiver per year based on fantasy stats. You know who I didn't realize was actually pretty good? It's not Sterling Sharp.
Sid Luckman?
No, who? Oh, yeah, it is Sterling Sharp because Shannon's the tight end. Sterling Sharp was actually a pretty good wide receiver.
And then he got his career cut short because of the neck injury, I think.
It was like Jerry Rice had a bunch of top seasons, and like Sterling Sharp was close second. But it was interesting. Imagine fantasy back then, super running back heavy. Like, my God.
Only running backs.
But like, because I can't remember who it was, but like somebody started the trend of quarterbacks out. Like, you think of it like quarterbacks since we've been playing fantasy have always been the top scorers, but it wasn't always like that. And it's just like now it's a passing league. So it's like even Josh Allen sucked this year. It felt like it's a QB1.
Well, I mean, that's
which is insane.
Well, it's because of all the rushing that he did. But like, think about it. The greatest show on turf with the Rams, that was a very pass heavy team.
And they also had Marshall Faulk.
But like they were kind of it started with them. That started like shifting the way the league kind of went towards throwing quarterbacks and things like that.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
It's only been 20 years.
I don't even remember what it was like before that. Like the Giants had terrible quarterbacks and we just fucking ran the ball.
Danny Cannell, Dave Brown.
Even like with Kerry Collins, we sort of threw the ball a little bit more, but we never had like Steve Smith is our all-time leader in receptions at 100 and something. Like, I don't know I think he's the only Giant ever to have over 100 receptions. Odell should have fucking broken that.
Ugh. The way the game has changed so much, some teams haven't caught up to it.
I just
like it used to be defense wins championships. Now, if you don't have a quarterback that can throw it and get 350 yards, you're probably not going to win.
Do you imagine like watching football now run heavy? Just doesn't seem as fun. Like,
no, the only way it's going to be run heavy is if you have two good running backs. One running back can't carry the load.
Or if Brian Tannehill's your quarterback.
Well, even then, Derrick Henry's going to play today. He's got freaking 5 metal screws and like a metal plate. He's wearing like a metal guard in his shoe.
How many teams right now are more run heavy than pass heavy? The Titans,
the
Browns,
Ravens.
Without the quarterback, running back heavy. Because the Ravens are
still the Ravens.
Are they?
Yeah.
Like if they
doesn't matter who the running back was, they were running the ball more. Latavius Murray, didn't matter who the fuck they threw back there. It's the scheme.
So who else? I guess the Niners kind of. They have
I'd say the
Eli
49ers.
Mitchell.
Would you say like no, not the Steelers. The Steelers throw it 45 times for 92 yards.
For some reason, you think they would be run heavy. But like the Browns and the Titans are the ones that come to mind where it's like they fucking run all the time. The Titans are like the most boring ass 1 seed ever. Even the 2000 Giants were fucking more interesting than the Titans.
I hope the Bengals beat them today.
Yeah, so do I.
I don't think they will, but I hope they do.
I kind of want the Rams in the Super Bowl, but if it's Rams, Niners kicked the shit out of them the first time, and then they beat them the second time. So I have no confidence that the Rams can win, but I also don't know if the Rams are even going to beat the Bucks, to be honest.
I think they should beat the Bucks, to be honest with you.
The Bucks are beat to shit, but it's in Tampa and it's fucking Tom Brady. And as long,
but also,
Dallas lost, New England lost, and Philly lost in the same weekend. So it was like, all we have left is to root against Tom Brady. Can the fucking guy just not win? And I also don't want Aaron Rodgers to win, but their game is what? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Or it's today, right? I
know the Bengals and Titans is at 4:30.
Because I was looking at it, like I don't want to root against the Packers because they might have to play the Bucks. But I think
49ers and Packers is tonight.
So I have to root for the fucking Packers in case the Bucks win, because I don't see the Niners beating the Bucks either.
I could see the 49ers beating them. The 49ers run game.
I don't trust Jimmy G. I mean, you guys handed them the fucking game. Dallas should have beaten them. It's just not Tom Brady, but I also don't want Aaron Rodgers to win. But if I had to choose between the two, it's like, who the fuck do you root for?
I'd root for Tom Brady over Aaron Rodgers.
I don't need him to win an 8th Super Bowl. It's ridiculous.
He won't win the Super Bowl. He won't.
But they keep he's 45 and he was like leading the league in passing. It makes no sense. Why is
maybe he wins the Super Bowl and then retires.
He's never gonna fucking retire until he has to be on steroids. I'm sorry. There's no evidence.
There's
There's no evidence he's not, but you shouldn't be this good.
That diet. That's
like I understand that he has more weapons now, and he's like in the Hertz commercials, which is probably like he recharges himself with the fucking. I don't know if you've seen the commercials, but fucking like how are you still not just playing, but you're like better than ever? Makes no sense. He's got to be on something. He's drinking
it's
like
not natural. It's not natural.
He's drinking like Peter Griffin steroid water from the fucking Special Olympics, and he's gonna have a fucking made-for-TV movie with Valerie Bertinelli in it.
Could it really be the TB12 diet? Like, could that be the
yeah?
thing?
If it has fucking steroids in it, fucking untraceable steroids,
deer antler spray.
I wonder if he tested positive, if they would try and hide it.
I mean, I don't think they would.
I mean, you can't, right? You'd have to.
No, but also I don't think they would try to hide it because I'm thinking about Deflategate, Bountygate. Like it wasn't. He got suspended.
I still don't understand Deflategate at all. It was like Goodell found all the information on Spygate, protected the Patriots, and then all of a sudden wanted to fuck Tom Brady with Deflategate. Like I don't like. Did you regret your decision to like throw it? That's why I think they cheated, because I remember that ESPN article says they found all that information, that they were spying on teams all the way up until 2008, which I 100% agree with. Which I think taints all three of their first Super Bowls. If you ask any of the Rams, I think it was, I don't remember who exactly said it, but they were like, we were running plays we'd literally never run before, and the Patriots knew what we were doing every single time. I have no doubt in my mind they were fucking cheating for those Super Bowls. Did Tom Brady know about it? 50-50. He might have, because he's the quarterback. You would think he would, but also I could see him absolutely having no fucking idea what they were doing.
But also, even if he did know,
it's not like he plays defense.
Exactly. I mean, granted, it does help, and that's why they probably had so many top 10 defenses.
If Bill Belichick was cheating then, maybe he was cheating when the fucking Giants beat the Bills. I mean, they didn't have the technology back then, but
no,
you never
you're right.
know. But
obviously then he wasn't cheating when he was the head coach of the Browns.
Yeah, that's true. He probably realized that I have to fucking cheat. But even with the cheating, I don't think that negates him from being like the best coach ever. But like those Super Bowls are tainted to me. And then Deflategate, let's say he did know about it. Do you think he knew about Deflategate? Like,
yeah. I think he did.
I mean, Brady.
Yeah, I think he did.
So like, it had nothing to do with the outcome of that game, but it's still
they won like 45-3 or something.
Still a red mark on that season. Like, all right, you won the Super Bowl that year, but you felt the need to fucking cheat for no reason. And then what was the game recently? Was it like the Bengals were awful and they were spying on the Bengals?
I think it was the Bengals. It might have been the Bengals or some other team.
How are you still cheating? And nobody seems to care. It's like David Ortiz. You fucking failed the same test A-Rod did. Nobody gives a shit. Just because A-Rod was like, you know what? I did. I took steroids. He admitted it. It's ridiculous. But Aaron Rodgers doesn't deserve to win. Fucking Tom Brady doesn't. Let Matt Stafford win, for fuck's sake. Give Odell a ring. Come on.
I like Matt Stafford.
How can you not like him? Like, let's see. I would love the
Cooper
Rams.
Kupp.
I've been a Rams fan for a while. I fucking love the Rams. Packers, I would be fine with, but Aaron Rodgers is a piece of garbage. So
fuck Aaron Rodgers.
I like that he has less rings than Eli.
Honestly, I would be happy if the 49ers won because they beat Dallas. At least then you're losing to the team that ends up winning. You know what I mean? As opposed to them beating Dallas and then the Packers beat them 65-0 tonight.
I know a 49ers fan who's also a Braves fan, so I don't really want the Niners to win, but I would take them over the Packers or the Bucks any day. Kansas City or Buffalo, I'm fine with.
Bengals.
Give me that. I would love the Bengals, but like I don't hate the Chiefs. If the Chiefs won the next 6 Super Bowls, I'm all for it. I don't give a shit.
I don't even dislike Andy Reid, but I should because he was the Eagles coach.
No, I feel, but he got fucked at the end. He was a good coach and they still ran him out of town. But like if Mahomes wins the next Super Bowl, 6 Super Bowls in a row, I'm good. I'm on the bandwagon. Let him have more than Brady. I don't care how many he wins. I'm not sick of them at all.
I saw something on Twitter like, who's the best duo left in the playoffs? It was like Tyreek and Kelsey. It was like Debo and Kittle, Henry and AJ Brown. Fuck you. It's Tyreek and Kelsey. I don't even care who else is on these teams. It's Tyreek and Kelsey.
And they had down years.
Yeah. Down years for them is still great.
They like literally would disappear in certain games. Like they get 4 fantasy points. And I'm like, that equals like a terrible game in real life. Like they would do literally nothing. Kelsey only had like a handful of big games this year. I think he was still the tight end 2 because Kittle and Waller were like injured all year.
Yeah.
But Mark Andrews was the tight end 1.
And Kittle was still top 5 though.
Because his games, like some of his games were ridiculous, but also with Jimmy G seemed to like never target him. Like in the playoffs,
he got you and me target last week.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like I don't understand. Were the Cowboys covering him or were they just
they weren't targeting him.
All right. Well,
weren't talking him at all.
More sports. Tell everybody about the article you sent me.
So it was in the Danbury News Times. So
I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Trashers documentary on Netflix, but like we went
it
to
was really
school.
good.
I still have to watch it. We went to school like 5-10 minutes from the fucking arena. We
I
never
went to high
literally.
school with him.
You did?
Same year. Yeah, we graduated together.
We didn't know each other until when they were what was it 05 and 06?
Yes.
But we like were you at what you didn't come to WestCon until 07, right? It's not like you were at WestCon.
I came to WestCon 05. 05, 06 is when I went to WestCon.
Were you commuting?
Yeah.
Okay, so we live so close there. I never went to a fucking Trashers game, and I love hockey. I wish I had.
I did not either. I never went to either.
I remember driving by there, but I never went to a Trashers game.
So the Danbury Trashers were a minor league hockey team owned by a semi-adjacent mob family. Semi-adjacent.
They were doing some shady shit.
So their minor league hockey team, the Danbury Trashers, were known for their on-ice fights. They were like the bad boys of minor league hockey, basically.
And they were also paying them as what, like employees of the trash company?
And paying them as employees of the trash company. They had like Wayne Gretzky's brother on the payroll.
I remember that.
So now they have teamed up with a promotional group to form what they call a new combat sport that takes fighting to the ice. This time, hockey won't be played. It's being called Ice Wars.
I said when you sent me the article, I sent it to one of my friends I used to work with, who lives in Danbury, and I was like, I don't know if this is satire, but like I'm sending it to you anyway. Like I couldn't figure out if this was legit, and she knows the guy too. Her mom used to work for the Trashers.
It is 100%.
I cannot
legit.
believe it's fucking real.
So Ice Wars will not be a one and done. We're basically creating a new sport, a new combat sport, said in a written announcement to the press on Thursday. This won't be the first time I got involved with something from scratch. This will be something new and different. And I believe we can entice more than just hockey fans to tune in. So I started doing some research. So the new sport, Ice Wars, is modeled after a 2005 event in Prince George, British Columbia, which was called Battle of the Hockey Enforcers. Battle of the Hockey Enforcers was a single night fight tournament that pitted enforcers from the minor, pro, and senior hockey leagues against each other.
Wow.
The tournament, like in the National Hockey League, no fighting on the ground was allowed. The referees separated the fighters if the fight turned too one-sided. For player safety concerns, they also temporarily stopped fights if helmet or gloves were accidentally removed, with disqualifications in effect if they were removed on purpose.
Wait,
if a
gloves
fight did not end in a referee stoppage, it was judged by a panel of hockey experts. So they were actually wearing like they were actually playing a hockey game. They were wearing the same gear.
But nobody in hockey, when there's a real hockey fight, they all take off their gloves. They don't punch.
They throw the gloves down and all that. So,
but that wasn't allowed.
Correct.
Oh,
so
interesting.
This Battle of the Hockey Enforcers from 2005, it was originally planned as a one-night, 16-man tournament with 4 round-robin groupings and winners advancing to the semifinals.
This is the fucking Kumite?
A number of forfeits and buys were made due to injuries and other withdrawals.
Yeah, exactly.
Advertising for the event listed 31 total bouts, but only 19 were held, including a pre-finals exhibition bout. Some people had to leave because they got concussions, but they actually crowned a winner. It never happened again. But the people that did this Battle of the Hockey Enforcers from 2005 are the promotional group that have signed on to help promote Ice Wars, which is coming in spring.
This isn't going to work.
I'm intrigued. So
I'm going to watch. I'm all for it.
Many cities are lined up to host it, but they don't know where yet. And pay-per-view distributors are also interested in carrying the event.
All right,
I would fucking get it.
Would you really? I can't see myself. I'd watch it if it was free, but I
can't imagine it's going to be like $80. If it's like $10, sign me up.
That's insane. Like, how long is it going to take before somebody slips and slits somebody's throat with their skate by mistake?
What was slip it by mistake? I would take the damn thing off and try to stab him.
What are you, Happy Gilmore?
Try to get him.
Try to stab a guy in the ice once. That's insane to me. Like, if you're, like, I guess if you're wearing your hockey gloves and you're keeping your helmets on, it'd be interesting. But like, I can't see how that's going to appeal to a lot of people.
Fighting on an entire
novelty.
Like, what are you going to skate?
It'll be like the XFL. Like the first week will be fucking incredible, and then once people see it again, they're like, "This is actually trash. It's not good."
But now the XFL's coming back next year. I'm excited for it.
With The Rock?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to last this time.
I feel like it will because there needs to be an alternate. There needs to be an alternative.
Yeah, I was all about we were all about the fucking Orlando. What I almost said Breakers.
Orlando Apollos.
Yeah, they fucking the de facto champions, weren't they? They were technically crowned the champions.
Yeah, Garrett Gilbert was the quarterback, baby.
How far did they get? Like, wasn't there like 3 weeks left in the year or something? And
Not
they
even.
folded?
It was like I think 2 weeks until the playoffs, and then it was COVID.
I thought they just folded first.
I think COVID is what started it because then they started playing games without fans and stuff.
Oh yeah,
and they didn't have the revenue anymore.
What did the XFL make it? 5 weeks? So depressing.
Yeah.
Fucking Kevin Kilbride. All right, so I'm gonna save Scream 5 for next week because I saw Scream last night with Alex. So I'll talk about it next week. But what is this? How much weird news do you have?
I have one weird thing. So this is just like the oddest thing ever. So the Daily Mail reported that Israeli scientists at Ben Gurion University have constructed an FOV. So you've heard of SUVs, like a sports utility vehicle?
What did you say? FOV?
FOV.
The fuck is that?
A fish operated vehicle.
What? Driven by a fish or run on fish guts?
It's a water-filled tank, camera, and computer on wheels, and they've trained goldfish to drive it.
What?
In the beginning of the trials, the fish just drove around randomly, but eventually they were able to guide the vehicle toward a food reward by changing the direction they were swimming.
What's the point of? Don't we have better shit to research?
The researchers said the experiment proved that fish can overcome environmental manipulation, and if they one day adapt to live out of water, they'll be able to find food.
Are they just trying to train fish to attack people or something? Like this, the next army?
Like
Operation Human Shield?
What the fuck? They trained a goldfish how to fucking drive a underwater car.
Do you think you could train a parrot to train a parrot?
I bet you could, actually.
That's an interesting quote from Jake and Amir. Never thought about it genuinely, but you probably could, right? If you can train a parrot to do anything, you could probably train them.
If you train a parrot to mimic you and you're training the parrot, it's going to mimic you mimicking. So I think you could.
That'd be interesting. Why is nobody on that? Why are we teaching fish how to drive?
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, what the actual fuck? This one's actually kind of cool.
And in Israel. Interesting.
In Israel, of course. I mean, they got nothing better to do. Like cure COVID first. Like, what the fuck?
God damn.
So this is kind of cool. It's such a rarity. It's the chances of it happening are 1 in 2 million.
Me getting laid?
That's 1 in 65, 42 billion. I just made up a new 65, 42 billion.
65, 42 billion are my chances of getting laid. God damn it.
So Alfredo Antonio Trujillo was born at 11:45 p.m. on December 31st at a medical center in Salinas, California.
This year or last year?
Yep. 15 minutes later, at 12 a.m. on January 1st, his twin sister, Aylin Yolanda Trujillo, made her grand entrance.
I like that.
1 in 2 million chance of twins being born in different years. That's how much of a rarity it is.
That's pretty awesome, actually. I like that.
So one's birthday is 12/31/21, and the other's is 1/1/22, and they're twins. That's awesome.
I like that. It's always weird to me. I mean, I'm guessing that wasn't a C-section because, like, obviously they can't both come out at the same time, so that's why. But it's like, I wonder if they you can't plan that, or if she was like, "Well, we're gonna be close. Maybe we can do it." You think she like held out from pushing? Like, come on, push harder. We can make it. Nope, I'm gonna wait till 2022. Like, that's pretty cool.
I'm surprised that it. I mean, obviously, having twins on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day is probably rare enough in it, but I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often.
1 in 2 million. So there's a better chance that twins will be born on separate years than me seeing a woman naked.
Yeah, basically.
By like what? What was your number? By like 60
65,
billion?
42 billion.
God damn it. Son of a bitch. Well, that was weird news. Do you have any more? What did you just Google weird news, or did that shit just pop up?
I happened to be reading like a news article, and like then I clicked on something else and that was there. I was like, ooh, and like one link to the other. It was so weird.
I love weird news stories. First a fucking fish driving and then twins born in separate years. All right. So what year would you like, sir, for your unusual death?
So we just did the 1970s. We did like a 2015 recently. I'm going to kick it back like old school. Let's go 1800s.
All right. 1800s. What year?
Do we have anything like 1812?
I have
like the War of 1812?
I have 1809 and 1814.
Let's go to 1814.
This is kind of like the molasses flood. because it's the victims of the London beer flood.
Let's go.
So October 17th of 1814, and this has a Wikipedia page, so you can research your fucking little dick off. On the 17th October 1814 at MEUX and Co. Mew and Company's Horseshoe Brewery, a 22-foot tall, 6.7 meters wooden vat of fermenting porter burst, causing chain reactions and destroyed several large beer barrels. The beer subsequently flooded the nearby slum and killed 8 people. Of course, it's the slums. Several people also subsequently died from alcohol poisoning as a result of vaporized liquid. Wow.
Oh, I can't wait to research this.
Vaporized liquid. And you die from alcohol poisoning from that. That's insane. A 22-foot tall wooden vat of fermenting porter burst, causing the chain reaction, destroying several large beer barrels. So people drowned, and then other people died from the vapor causing alcohol poisoning.
I cannot wait to research that. That is awesome. That is like the Great Molasses Flood, but with liquor.
It's actually got a pretty lengthy Wikipedia page. So that's gonna be fun. You're gonna be for a long opening next week for episode 12, because that's a lot.
I dig it. I'm all for it.
And on this day, I know we have a fuck ton of stuff to get to. So a lot happened on this day.
So I'm going to give you some birthdays and deaths first before I get into the events.
The best part.
So let's see. Steve Perry from Journey was born on this day in 1949.
That is a good one.
DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Wow.
Born on this day in 1965. Guy Fieri. 1968.
Did you really say his name wrong?
Isn't it Fieri?
Yeah. I don't understand. Yeah. The guy's the biggest star on the Food Network, and people can't pronounce his name.
Because it's not pronounced how it's spelled.
Yeah, but he says it every fucking, hey, I'm Guy Fieri. We're rolling out.
But did you also know that's not even his real goddamn name?
Yeah, it's Fieri. But
yeah,
I think he used his, like, before his grandparents like changed it or whatever, like their original name was Fieri. I think that's why he uses it.
Do you know what his middle name is?
I've seen this before. I knew it was Guy Fieri, but I forget what his middle name is.
Ramsey.
Oh, that's right. I did know that. Guy Ramsey Fieri. Yep.
So it's it's the 50th birthday of Gabriel Macht.
Ooh, fucking Harvey Specter from Suits.
From Suits. I knew you would know that. And this one blew my mind. This person just turned 34 today. Greg fucking Oden.
Greg Oden is 34.
34.
Guy looks 50.
He's been out of the NBA since 2014.
I can't believe they missed on that so bad. Like,
he gotta be the biggest bust ever.
I remember this was what year was he and Durant drafted? 05, 06, something like that?
07.
And I was like, most people were like, he's the number one. You got to do it. He's the big man. But it didn't dawn. It was like the league had already changed to where it was like the smaller players or the guards and the forwards. Those are who dominate the league. It's not a centers league anymore. And I remember Durant was this skinny fucking dude. But it was like, Greg Oden's got to be the number one. He's the center, big man, take him. And then pretty quickly it was like, what were we thinking? Of course it's the power forward, small forward, guard.
Especially don't trust the big guy. Don't trust the big who looks like he's 37.
And he's always injured. It's nuts. Wow.
Do you know who got drafted after? I know it was like Oden, Durant. Do you know who got drafted after Durant, 3 and 4?
I have no idea. I can't remember.
Al Horford and Mike Conley.
Al Horford's still pretty good. I don't know if Conley's really like. I mean, he was good for the Grizzlies for a while.
Do you know who got drafted 6th?
Fucking no.
To the Bucks. Jian Lian.
I remember that dude. I love that.
Remember that guy? Name. Wasn't like his workout tape him like doing pivots around a fucking folding chair? Wasn't that Jian Lian?
I feel like I just saw something on like TikTok about him. He was supposed to be the next Yao Ming. And like, It was just like, he's won like 6 MVPs in the Chinese league or whatever. Like, he's fucking amazing out there. But
and the Chinese Basketball Association didn't want him to get drafted by the Bucks because of the small Chinese population. Yeah. And the Bucks owner flew to China, was like, we're gonna play you, we're gonna devote time to you, and then they traded him like a year later.
And he sucked, but he's amazing in the Chinese league.
He's won like 4 MVPs or something like that, 5 MVPs, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, Jian Lian, only 37.
It's crazy. It's a good day for birthdays. January 22nd. Good birthdays.
got some. It's also Tully Blanchard, but I figured, fuck him.
Tully.
So some deaths. Lyndon B. Johnson, who was the 36th president, died on this day in 1973.
J.
Heath Ledger died of a drug overdose at the age of 28 in 2008.
Idiot. Still be around today.
Joe Paterno died on this day in 2012 at the age of 85 from lung cancer.
He got lucky. It felt like he was able to choose when he died because all that shit was going down, and he just
all that shit started coming out. He stepped down and he died like right away.
He just seemed like to go home and just die. I was like, wow, how did you do that?
And then last year on this day in 2021, Hank Aaron passed away at the age of 86.
Aw.
All right. So you ready for some of these things that happened on this date?
Yes.
Good. All right. We got 1973. Roe v. Wade, the U.S. Supreme Court, legalized most abortions.
Oh,
so
God.
it was originally argued in 1971, argued again in the fall of 72, and then they finally ruled on it on this day in 1973.
It just has me thinking that it's going to be repealed soon.
I'm very worried that it will as well. On this day in 1989, the 49ers beat the Bengals 20-16 to win Super Bowl 23. Bill Walsh retired after this, which was his third Super Bowl title.
And on this today, we're only having the second round of playoffs.
It's so weird, right?
But on this day, the Super Bowl was happening already.
On this date, there were so many different teams, like NFC Championship, AFC Championship. Like in 2012, the Patriots beat the Ravens 23-20 in the AFC Championship, and the Giants beat the 49ers 20-17 in the NFC Championship.
Good times.
I don't remember that game being overtime. They won 2017 in overtime. I have no recollection.
Yeah, because fucking Kyle Williams fumbled he fumbled in overtime.
Yeah. But I didn't realize that was overtime. I thought it was just a punt.
Yep. Punt in overtime. Crazy game.
On this day in 1994, there were co-winners of the Royal Rumble with Bret Hart and Lex Luger.
I'm watching a Royal Rumble as we squeak.
Which year?
92. So it's always the go-to. I feel like that's going to be the best.
Also in 1995, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels won the Royal Rumble.
Same day?
Same day.
2 years in a row. Wow.
What are the odds of that?
That was the shortest Royal Rumble in history. I hated that one because they only had
it every 60 seconds or something like that?
So he lasted less than an hour from number one. They should have fucking had the foresight to have him be in there for like an hour and a half.
Didn't they also every year it was like every 2 minutes, which made it way too long?
Probably. I feel like 90 seconds is a good number.
But then don't you remember when it was a 2008 Royal Rumble when we were there? It felt like 7 minutes.
Even though I feel like we timed it and it wasn't, but like I swear to God, between 29 and 30, it was like 10 minutes. It was ridiculous.
Oh God, we'll probably talk about that Royal Rumble more next week.
That was a good final.
On this date in 2003, Chappelle's Show debuted. 19 years ago.
That's ridiculous.
In 2006, Kobe Bryant scored 81 points.
I saw that on Facebook
104
today.
Win over the Raptors.
Still kind of insane. Like, he had like 50 and like he only had like 40 at halftime or something. It was like insane.
Yeah,
and then the fourth quarter, he only had like 50. Like he scored like a lot of those points in the last like 6 minutes. It was nuts.
Let's see what else. This one I feel like you would have known. On this date in 2010, Conan O'Brien's last Tonight Show episode aired.
Son of a bitch.
I feel like you could do a whole side thing on how he got totally royally screwed because Jalen was a sour piece of it.
Still pisses me off. They fucked that up so badly. And I still pisses me off. But none of those guys still work for NBC. So it's like, whatever. But Jimmy Fallon sucks balls. It's awful.
But it's not his fault, at least. I know you're not a fan of his, but like he didn't.
Hey, he could have fucking killed himself.
Wow.
Bad. He could have fucking been like, no, I'm not going to do this. But obviously, of course not. But yeah, he's not funny. He sucks.
So I have one more that happened on this date.
Is it Jimmy Fallon just killed himself?
It is actually. No, it's a little bit of a story. So in the early 1980s, Pennsylvania, the state of Pennsylvania, not the Pennsylvania Dutch, the state of Pennsylvania, they discovered that its state workers had overpaid federal taxes due to errors in state withholding. A multi-million-dollar recovery contract was required to determine the compensation to be given to each employee. In 1986, the treasurer of Pennsylvania was subsequently convicted of accepting a bribe from the California firm that won the contract. He was then found guilty on 11 counts of conspiracy, mail fraud, perjury, and interstate transportation in the aid of racketeering. He was
Racketeering.
scheduled to be sentenced to prison time on January 23rd, 1987. However, the day prior, on January 22nd, 1987, aka today, Robert Bud Dwyer called a news conference in the Pennsylvania state capital of Harrisburg, during which he fatally shot himself with a .357 Magnum revolver.
He was innocent
in front of reporters during a live news broadcast.
He did that so his family would get his life insurance policies. He maintained he was innocent. I didn't know that half of that stuff. I was like, what are you talking about?
I didn't want to give away the name because you would know.
Oh my God. I was obsessed with Bud Dwyer in high school. I remember seeing that video. It's fucking haunting. The camera guy zooms in on his dead, bloody face, blood running like a fucking waterfall out of his nose, and the guy's zooming in on it. Like, what kind of fucking cameraman was that?
He was 47.
Poor fucking guy got railroaded. Pretty sure he was innocent.
No, they actually came out, I want to say in like 2010 or something like that, where they said that he was 100% guilty. Like he
of everything?
Yeah.
Why would he fucking kill himself? I guess he really wanted to help out his family.
His wife got $1.28 million in survivor benefits, which is the equivalent of almost $3 million in 2020.
I mean, what was he supposed to be sentenced to jail to? Racketeering's not good, so you're probably going to be for a while. But like, I wonder what his wife would prefer: him in jail for 20 years or him dead and the money.
Oh no, the judge apparently wanted to make an example out of him. He could have been sentenced to as much as like 55 years, and I think the judge was going to give him the maximum.
Oh God!
To make an example out of him.
Why not make an example out of like real criminals? So like the whole thing was, he wasn't stealing from the taxpayers. He just took a bribe.
He took a bribe for the firm that was figuring out how much money each person should have gotten.
I don't think that deserves a fucking.
He blew his brains out on this day 35 years ago.
I don't know how anybody can blow their own brains out. I'd be too scared. Like there's just no way.
Was 47 when he did it. And you remember how I said that?
What's his first name?
Robert Dwyer.
Because our Bud Dwyer. I still have my T-shirt we made in graphic design class, dedicated to WWBD. What would Bud do? And he would kill himself.
And remember how I said that? There's a specific day I wanted us to record of like an event that happened on that day.
Was it today?
This is not even it. This just happened to be like coincidental.
What was the day? Is it later?
It's later.
Well, I don't know if we're going to record on it because we're probably going to record next Thursday or
Wednesday.
Wednesday
night. It'd be next Tuesday, the 26th. It'd be next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, the 26th.
So we have
to record next Wednesday.
We have to record Wednesday night during Dynamite. All right, I guess
it has to be next Wednesday. For two other specific things that are going to be on this days.
All right, so we'll have that to look forward to. So maybe we'll most likely record next Wednesday night during Dynamite, so we can fucking not have to watch that bullshit. Is that it for On the Day?
That's it for On the Day. I told you there was a lot.
That was a lot. Yeah. So that concludes episode 11. These go to 11. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next week.
Bye.